Hello and welcome back to the second part of today's workshops and talks from the third day of the deep dive days at the TUM.ai GPT-3 Makeathon. My name is Omar.
I'm Nora.
And we're super excited to have you back. So, lastly, we had the Flutter workshop that was technical, and like the last couple of days, we had like a lot of input, like technical and from the business side. Now we have just like a bit of an inspiring talk. But before we get to that, we would like to ask you a question. So, the question is, which social issue would you like to tackle with AI? And you can find the link to the poll in the general Slack channel, and the QR code is going to pop up right now. Nora, what do you think about this question?
It's pretty interesting. I guess everybody will have a different opinion on this, and it'll be a good start to the talk to get somebody else's input and then see.
It definitely fits also the title of our next talk, AI for Good. So it's like just about using AI for a good cause, and I think solving social issues is a good cause. So I would be interested in which social issues would you
and to see Ekrem's take on this afterwards.
Yeah. Perfect. So find the link in the Slack general channel. The QR code is going to pop up like now. But if that doesn't pop up, you can also find the link.
Looks a bit confusing, but I guess you can all guess what it's saying. Just go to the Slack channel if you can't read it. And without further ado, let me introduce to you our speaker for today. Growing up as a child of a Turkish working class family in Germany, Ekrem has always shaped his spirited, multicultural personality throughout his global work-life experience. He completed his Executive Master of Business Administration degree in 2017 from the Singapore Management University. After spending 5 years in Asia, he moved to Germany to work for Microsoft in a data and AI product sales leadership role for strategic customers. As the co-founder of Gedexa, he acts as the driver of the global mentorship program for students and young talents. Now, without further ado, it's an honor for me to introduce you the data and AI lead of Microsoft, Ekrem Namazci. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hi, happy to be here.
Very glad to have you.
Thank you very much. I mean, it was a great opening with this music backgrounds and the animated intro. Wow, I feel really like a celebrity coming in. But yeah, I mean, I guess you set the expectations quite high now.
Don't worry, I'm sure you can match up to that.
You're gonna nail it for sure of that.
Very excited to hear your opinions on this.
So if you're ready, you can start sharing your screen if you want.
No. First, we'll have the questions. So we will show that in a second. Ekrem, you can comment on that, and we can hear your opinion on the answers that the participants gave.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really curious to see what kind of social issues, I mean, the participants would like to tackle.
I think you should be able to see it in a second. Or no, you can already see it as well, can't you? Yeah, perfect.
I can see it now. Yeah, that's interesting. But I mean, you would like me to comment on that, right? So I'm not unveiling here, right? So yeah, education. This is really, really close to my heart. Existence crisis, sexism, racism. Yeah, that's cool. Healthcare, I can see on the right side. This is cool. I'm looking for something climate. Oh yeah, climate change. I was looking for that one. But yeah, education. I mean, yeah, we can tell, right? We are here at the TUM.ai student initiative, so it was kind of predictable that this is top of your mind. Yeah, but I think the top three: racism, education, existential crisis. Yeah, I can see also mental health, fake news. Yes, sure. But great. I mean, this is a great opening and link to my presentation actually, because I'm gonna go into the couple of topics in more detail actually.
Sounds exciting. Yeah. Then, without further ado, feel free to share your screen and get started.
Absolutely. So
we can see it.
Just give me a hint if you can see it. That's great.
Yes, we can see it. It's all good.
I'm gonna switch to the presentation mode. I need to quickly rearrange.
Yes, looks good.
Now you should see the presentation mode. Yeah, great. Yeah, I think you introduced me already. But I'm really happy to be here because I mean. Education is very close to my heart. We are here with, I think, very young, ambitious students and then participants around Plus, obviously, AI is also very close to my heart. I've been in data and AI since almost 15 years. And yeah, and I think today this is a great topic because it combines technology with societal and humankind issues. And I'm really happy to give you the speech here and to walk you through what great things we all can do with the help of AI technology. So yeah, it was quite interesting because when we look at AI for good, we divide it into these 4 pillars actually. So which means we try to impact the earth, the nature, and I think climate change was mentioned in the word cloud. We have also AI for accessibility. So as you know, we have 1 billion people in the world who have disabilities, and almost 70% of those are invisible, so you can't tell. So this is a great area where we can really improve and impact lives to make it more inclusive. Then AI for humanitarian action, I think, was also mentioned many times. The crisis around the world, the natural disasters around the world. I mean, we have hunger as a big topic, but also we have cultural heritage, which needs to be covered and saved. And last but not least, AI for health. And this is a global initiative by Microsoft. We are taking really serious since in really couple of years. There's an investment behind of about 165 million. So we are really investing not only money but also resources, and are really serious to tackle all these kind of issues in a very manner. But how are we going to do this? I think this is very pressing questions you guys may have. It's of course a fundamental. It's the AI technology, and what we are doing with AI is like rather than engineering and developing, we are starting with research. And this is a fundamental and the foundation of anything we are doing with technology. So we are investing a quite a heavy in research. We developed and set up a lot of research development centers around the world in various continents. And here are just 8 of them. I mean, in the meanwhile, we have a lot more. And as you can see, also the breakthrough, I mean, achievements we have, right? That we created really hardware technology, which is very smart and intelligent. We have speech recognition, which is almost parity with humans. Same for conversational. I mean, you all know the chatbots. We have machine translation, which is, I mean, about 70% human parity, and also object detection. I think here, of course, we are running against the human, right? We are trying to really be as good as humans, not to replace them, but to support them. And I think this is also a quite, I mean, important thing, because AI is also perceived in mainstream as, hey, I mean, the robots will take over the world and we're going to lose all our jobs and so on. It's not like this. We're trying to really support and impact people where humans are not strong enough or not good enough in that matter. So and I mean. And finally, I mean, we have also quite an investment in OpenAI and GPT-3, right? So you may all aware, I mean, and this is your theme of this hackathon here is that Microsoft licensed OpenAI exclusively last year, which means we are training it this with our AI supercomputer, which we also brought up together with this announcement. So, and there's a lot of traction going on that angle, and we're really proud to support this initiative and this open source initiatives. And of course, I mean, it's still available for everyone, but we have exclusive license rights, so access to source code and developing it further. So yeah, that's why it's quite interesting also to be here on stage having this theme on your end. So, and what does it mean? I mean, what we are doing with this training of with supercomputers, and just to give you a feeling, what does it mean? AI at scale is, I mean, these numbers are tremendous, right? 10 billion interference per month, for instance, or 53 billion transactions per month through cognitive services. I'm coming in a minute to that one. And similarly, this continues, right? So when I think this is a great thing that we can see, it's a testimony, it's a proven that AI and machine learning and all these kind of automations have been used. So it's not a hype, it's really been used. And the great advantage we have, and that's why we are so in front of many technologies, and we have plenty of patents and unique solutions, is we can test this out, right? With our unique search engine, we have the possibility to really, get immediate insights and feedback while testing these kind of new algorithms. We have with Office, we are presenting now with Microsoft. We can really leverage on that and can test new AI models. And we have live captions, we have translation services, we have kind of a rehearsal within PowerPoints. You may all know the design recommendations we have, which gets even more popular. And we have Xbox, right? I must admit, I'm still having a PlayStation 4 in my home, not an Xbox yet, but I think I'm gonna change soon. But here again, we have a huge user community where we can also test out a lot of things in that angle. So I think this is, just to give you a feeling how different we are tackling this topic of AI, which means coming from research, having the big footprint, this open source mindset in the meanwhile, plus also the environment where we can test things out. So, and similarly then, which is a great situation where we can really see also the market is picking up quite fast, where almost half of the global organizations around the world already achieved, tremendous and significant cost reductions by using AI technology. It's the same, over 30% are investing massively in AI technology. And also it's shifting more from try and error, like research and piloting and prototyping into productive use. And this is also the difference we are tackling it. We are not looking at it from the business point of view. We are also looking at it from the societal issues point of view. So yeah, in a nutshell, AI is productive in the meanwhile. So we are supporting any language, any developer, any skill. I'm going to come to that in a minute as well. It's built for enterprises, so it's really mature and can be used and is trusted. And why I'm telling you all this is because, when we are talking about AI for good in a minute, this is the underlying technology behind. It's really based on Azure Cognitive Services, Azure Machine Learning, and Azure AI, which is kind of segmented in various areas like decision making, personalization, enforcement learning, reinforcement learning, and those kind of technologies you may all be aware of. There's a language part. There's a speech part where we can do a lot of things with audio, and there's a vision part. And in the meanwhile, we also added another fourth area, which is web, right? In terms of knowledge mining, which in terms of the search recommendations and statistics and trends we can identify over there. So it's really massive, and this is really pre-trained models out of the box, which you can really immediately use and apply to your apps, right? And in the next 5 years, by the way, 500 million new apps going to be developed in the world, right? So that's tremendous. And of course, all of these apps needs to be AI infused. And here you can really use this pre-trained AI models. You can add your customization into it and run it, right? And this is, I think, a great benefit. And again, I think all of you and all of us have the ideas what kind of solutions we can develop, as we saw initially in the word cloud. So, and here we are giving you the platform and the framework to do so. And of course, I'm going to finish with some use cases. And in these, of course, pandemic times, what kind of use cases this could be. This is, for example, which we kind of developed for supermarkets and retailers for people counting, right? This is with machine learning and spatial analytics. We can really count people, monitor people to really, track the maximum occupancy of for example, supermarkets. Similarly, we can also, detect, and also alert, the supervisors once we identify some kind of issues here. Also social distancing with this spatial analytics capabilities, we can easily really track and measure the distances between the people, and also can set a minimum amount of people or maximum amount of people, and can also track this. Or entry control. Especially in Germany, we have a kind of a very strict count of people, maximum number of people in the supermarkets or anywhere else. I think these are great use cases, which should give you an idea of how fast we can react in the meanwhile to these kind of, pandemic situations, social issues, societal issues, or even also business challenges we may have. But it's not that easy. That's why, we need skills, we need scale, we need transparency, and I think all of these needs to come together. And I think this is also the invitation to all of you. That's why I thought education is quite close to my heart. With GDEXA, we are running a global mentorship program where we are really coaching and mentoring students and young professionals for those kind of digital topics. And this is most pressing need these days, that we need skills. We need you all being able to develop those kind of solutions at scale. Yeah, and I think the framework behind is really like, yeah, let's build some kind of nice solutions, nice apps. Let's use all these pre-trained models which are existing, and also be really responsible with this technology. And in order to the solutions we're going to develop. And coming now back to this to our topic today is today's topic is really like developing apps for good, right? And what I'm going to do is, walking through all different areas. Make it more interactive, and we'll also show you some videos, which are not advertisings. It's more like a live demo of those, to just show you that this is all live, this is all real and existing, and this should really encourage you and kind of trigger your imagination of what's possible today. But one key aspect I would like to highlight is that we all follow an approach which means responsible and trust, right? So Microsoft, we developed an approach based on these 6 pillars, like fairness, reliability, inclusivity, privacy, transparency, and accountability. So we all know that especially machine learning and AI algorithms tend to be biased to a certain degree. So to tackle those, we are really, really following those principles. And are quite conscious on that. And yeah, that's why our motto is always Microsoft runs on trust. So let's start with the AI for accessibility. So, and here again, as mentioned before, 1 billion people with disabilities, and disabilities are everywhere, right? And it's during, or in our work environment, and it can impact your employment. It can be in daily life, and also in communication between humans, right? So which means we need to make sure that every human on Earth needs to be included in business, in daily life, and in any kind of communications. We shouldn't leave anyone behind. And if we are not actively including people, we are accidentally excluding, right? So that's why it's a very sensitive and important topic. And that's why we are quite, aggressive in building this kind of solutions with our partners and with a lot of startups, by the way. So the apps you're going to see here, and we have plenty of more. I just tried to really brought it down to few, are really being developed either by Microsoft employees or by startups in collaboration with partners. And here, I just want to highlight 3 apps here before I show you a kind of a small video snippet. Seeing AI. You can go to your app store and download it. It's supporting, in the meanwhile, 18 languages. I personally use it as well. It's very, very great to see. You can just hold, your smartphone to anywhere. It will really tell you what's on the picture, including translation of signboards and anything which you can see. So literally, you include blind people or low vision people into business and life, and really giving them live capture around the surroundings, right? So like in this picture, if you hold the picture to the person in front of you, it will tell you, oh, there's a 25 years old lady laughing to you, right? Or on the right-hand side, there are 2 people sitting on the table. So you are really then in a live environment, right? This is really great, which we have achieved, and it's one of the most downloaded apps in the meanwhile in the App Store. So what we also have is Help Tico, which is, for autism people, and mainly also children who have really hard times to get in, non-verbal area. So with pictograms, basically, and speech to text, can easily, you can just talk as you are, and for example, the speed I'm talking right now is way too fast for those people, right? Or the elements and animations, PowerPoint slides, and so it's just too much. But what we develop with this Help Victor is I can just speak and it will translate my speech, my sentences into pictograms, which is more digestible for those people. Great, great stuff. And of course, Microsoft Translator, which is a real-time translation service, is obviously quite powerful on that angle. But yeah, I mean, let me also give you a small insight into real cases here. I mean, I'm going to show you a video where we also put a lot more use cases into it. Enjoy. I think I forget to share my screen with audio. Just give me a second, please. Let me reshare. Okay. I'm sorry for that. It's not allowing me to share my audio. Okay, here we go. Just give me a second.
We have so many people who are non-verbal but still have so much to say.
I want the exact same information that my hearing friends have. There are barriers to communication everywhere, but I think it's time we look at the barriers as opportunities to reach out to everyone.
Soundscape fills in a lot of the mental map as you move.
Approaching intersection.
You can just put it in your pocket and go.
With ALS, you become locked in. But we see technology as a way to give back what ALS has taken away.
There's no better feeling than to hear a child say something that they've wanted to say and the look on their face after they've been able to say it.
When it's reading, I see spaces between the words, and it's easy to focus on.
Anjay realized that here was something that could change his life.
Now that I have my phone, I can see exactly what was said, and that's been a huge help to me.
The system is learning as it goes, and the accuracy has improved tremendously.
Students can pick any language that they choose to receive the information. It's like we jumped into the future.
Because communication is very important for all of us, and we just want to be together and not feel left out.
Aider les personnes avec autisme à communiquer, il y a des images.
Je parle, je donne une information à Arthur et elle est traduite par l'application El Picto instantanément en pictogramme et après d'une façon orale.
Va t'habiller et te brosser les dents.
On va pouvoir remettre en place une communication qui est plus spontanée. Je crois que ça aide à recréer du lien.
Both my wife and I are totally blind, and we have a 3-year-old son that's in preschool. He can see, but his parents can't. So to be able to know what's going on at his school is everything. The Seeing AI app has the ability to allow me access to the visual world. Artificial intelligence is beginning to have an impact on the lives of people with disabilities, but it's only going to grow. There is still so much out there to be done.
yeah, there's a lot more to be done. That's I think a good finish. Yeah, this was and as you saw probably, I mean, a lot of educational apps, right, for blind people, for again pictograms, for reading, immersive reader, and those kind of things. I think this shows the power of AI basically, and gives you a glimpse of what can AI do for people with disabilities, which are again 1 billion people around the world. So yeah, I mean, this was the area of AI for accessibility, and let's change gears a little bit and look at the most pressing needs of our Earth, where we are living. And yeah, and AI for Earth is really like a program which gives a lot of grants as well to startups. And I think this is also one of the most pressing needs, climate change. And we have, I mean, agriculture, which is, I think, quite obvious. Farmers, we need to enable farmers, and they're coming from a traditional world. Water, I mean, we need to, I mean, kind of survive our water. And in the next 2 decades, the demand of water for human consumption, agriculture, hygiene is predicted to be dramatically outspace the supply, basically. So it's really huge, and we need to kind of help to model the Earth's conserve and then protect the fresh water, by the way. And then here AI can be a big help. The biodiversity, I mean, the species extinction, this is a big topic, right? So not only animals, but also plants and all these kind of things. It's very alarming rates. The ecosystem is really suffering from all this climate change. And lastly, the climate change itself, right? So, I mean, we have extreme weather. I mean, now it's April. I just changed my summer tires, but then it starts snowing again 2 weeks before we did a barbecue. I mean, all of us are experiencing this dramatical change in global temperature. And this is just the what we can see and feel in our daily life. There's a lot of more, I mean, hidden changes which we are not aware of. And this is really a huge and serious topic. And here, what we're going to do is I'm going to also show you kind of some examples here, and also following with the video. For example, farm beets, right? I mean, we're really addressing the farmer in the farms, in rural places, in really places where no internet is available, right? So I think it's a great example of how we enable, by the use of cloud and AI, farmers out there to predict better, to provide them information they need. Because the biggest challenge is really like that until or by 2050, the demand for food is expected to outpace the production by 70%, 70%. So which means we need to enable farmers to get access to data and to technology in order to see how more efficient I can be with my crops, right? So and I can really, tackle kind of disease or kind of changing environments in order to save my crop and my agriculture. And here we developed, and this architecture slide shows a little bit what kind of technologies are within there. But I think seeing is believing. Let me spin up the video and give you an insight into how does it look like.
My name is Sean Stratman, and I'm a farmer. I've been doing this a long time, and it's clear now more than ever that we need to find better ways of growing to ensure a sustainable future for farming. Water scarcity and agricultural pollution are all creating pressures that farmers around the world are feeling. We are looking to human ingenuity and technology to feed our growing population.
My background is in connectivity and battery technologies, but I grew up spending summers on our family farm in India. That foundation gives me a unique perspective in my work as a principal researcher at Microsoft. New sensor technology is a great tool in providing data on soil moisture and soil nutrients to help farmers make best use of their resources. Unfortunately, these sensor solutions can cost thousands of dollars per sensor and require many sensors to monitor a field properly. Drones and other imaging technologies can provide very useful data and allow for precise monitoring of land over time. But these devices require a high bandwidth wireless connection from the middle of the farm. To solve our connectivity problem, we utilize the unused channels for TV broadcasts, which are abundant in rural areas. This allows us to transfer large amounts of data from cameras and sensors in these remote areas to a local processor at the farm and out to the Microsoft cloud.
So I send this up, and it's taking pictures all the time.
Our big breakthrough was the integration of machine learning into the processing of imaging and ground sensor data. Through this process, the data
Yeah, I think was also a great example of how we really impact farmers, and also in very challenging environments like on a farm, where of course there's no fiber access to internet and all these kind of things. We will still be able to really use existing resources, existing technology, like in this case the TV stations, to really stream data out of the farm to the cloud, and then of course you can use the power of AI even more. So yeah, I think also a great example how we can also combine various technologies, and also, I mean, new technologies with the traditional ones. And there's also an AI on the edge, a very famous technology coming up, where we really enable on the edge, on the devices, on the ground, AI algorithms and AI models to be calculated and then produced without having any connection at all. And I think this is also quite powerful, I mean, improvement, where we are open up a lot of new use cases where we are not, if we are not requiring always on situations while developing these kind of solutions. So in terms of, I mean, animals and really like supporting really the front lines of sustainability. I mean, this is these are a list of projects which we are featuring with Microsoft Azure and AI. WildMe, which is fighting against extinction for, I mean, together with citizens, by the way. I mean, I am also having a small video to that one. Sylvia Terra, mapping the future of forests with machine learning. We have land cover mapping, farm beets, project phenomenons, and iNaturalist, which are great examples also how we can really also impact the nature, basically. And also in terms of the species, right? I mean, there are a lot of, I mean, high-risk species in the world, and also here where we can really impact people and also include a lot of citizens, by the way, is like, while developing AI apps, of course, technology and AI is one thing, but never forget the users and never forget the power of community. This is a great example. WildMe, we are using everyone in the world, every citizen who's making a walk, who's on travel, and who identifies or sees anything. It can be an animal, a species, a plant, or whatever. Just make a picture, upload it, and train our AI so everyone can contribute and can make an impact here. So, and this is how this works, right? So, which means WildMe utilize the cameras of tourists, for example, of citizens, and there are a lot of hobby scientists around who are making pictures or looking around, and together we can comment the extinction of species and help inform the conversation, right? So to make aware of something which is going wrong. Let me spin up the video and give you a glimpse of how does it work.
There are an estimated 90,000 threatened species across the globe. To understand what puts a species at risk, we need to know where are they born, how many survive, where do they go, how far do they go, how do they respond to different conditions. We really do need to learn about every individual animal.
At Wildbook, we are using an algorithm to digitally tag individual animals, much like a human fingerprint.
At Wildbook, anyone with a camera can become a citizen scientist, and anyone uploading animal photos or videos to social media directly contributes to conservation. Microsoft AI gives us the building blocks to analyze public streams of photos and videos and identify individual animals in an instant.
So this is a new whale shark for science.
Yes, and we named it Wilma.
Wilma the whale shark.
AI can determine location, date of sighting, migration patterns, and even an animal's social group. And even if the information is not available, an intelligent agent can contact the content's owner and ask for the missing detail. Microsoft's AI for Good initiative gives us the technology to create a comprehensive view of the planet. In the last 10 years, we've identified 10 times more whale sharks than ever recorded in human history. By leveraging citizen scientists and bringing them together with researchers, we can form conservation policies. Microsoft AI will help us accelerate our work by empowering people to take action. What we get back is, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this I don't know how you guys feel, but I mean, this kind of situations and solutions gives me some kind of goosebumps, right? So how we can really, I mean, impact the world for better if we all join forces, right? And include everyone to really contribute and help us out here. So yeah, I think this was a great example of I mean, how we can really also include people, make our apps that easy, that mature, that everyone can contribute and easily use and add to our AI algorithm, which is of course ultimately runs through training the information and the data. And the more training data we have, the better, of course, and the more accurate is the algorithm. So yeah, I mean, here another one which is similar to really fight against species who are really under threat. Is like the coordination between the conservations, right? So because there's a lot of people or conservations in the world and the nature who are trying to really get information, get really the footprint in the nature. But here to monitor this and to keep track is really a very, I mean, kind of many times a manual effort. And here with iNaturalist, we kind of automated the whole stream here, where we can really say, I mean, a human can make an interaction or just the picture, send it to the Azure, and then together with also the human, where we can add like kind of subject matter expertise in there, we can really get more accurate insights and create even a map where we can really identify the areas which needs more attention on that angle. Here, let me also spin up the video to show you kind of a real case scenario.
iNaturalist is a social network where anyone can record and share their photographs of living things. When you share a photograph on iNaturalist, it becomes more than just a picture. It becomes an observation. It's a record of an organism in a place at a time. Each observation is shared with a global community of naturalists, where it can be identified, discussed, and used to give us a greater understanding of life on Earth. Wherever you are, biodiversity is there too. Get out and observe it.
This should really encourage you all to, whenever you create apps or AI, make it easy to use, make it really convenient for everyone. I know that AI and ML itself, it's very complex. It's coding, programming, engineering work, and there's a lot of things to consider. But at the end of the day, we're going to increase the usage and the impact if we make it really easy, right? And in this example, it shows really great how this could look like. So yeah, I mean, next one, right? So the land cover mapping is really like tackling a very interesting challenge here, right? Creating high quality land cover maps without today's high resolution imagery is a resource intensive process. It can take up to a year to become really available to the public, and it's time consuming to sort and manage and classify all the images into the land cover data. So what we did is we developed a solution which really had the goal to help make the land cover mapping process even faster, easier, and accessible to anyone. So you can on the fly can access to the cover mapping and allow the conservation groups to create high resolution land cover maps on with their own data, basically, right? And it's accurate, it's actionable, and quickly to access. And here again, let me spin up the video to really highlight what's behind the solution.
I've been a waterman on the Chesapeake Bay since 1995. When you're out there on the water every day for that long, you see how things have changed. It's hard knowing there's nothing you can do but watch.
My name is Bob Ingersoll, and I'm a farmer. The demand for our kind of work is only going up, and we're constantly looking at how to expand our yield without stripping the land or polluting the bay.
The Chesapeake Conservancy has been focused on creating tools that help answer some of these questions.
In the infancy of the Chesapeake Bay program, scientists built a scale physical model of the bay to understand how processes worked and to simulate potential solutions. A lot has changed since then, and technology has been the catalyst. The Chesapeake Conservancy has been a pioneer in the field of precision conservation, getting the right practices in the right places, but it hasn't always been easy. Until recently, land cover data was only available at 30 meters resolution and represented what the landscape looked like 7 years ago. Not great for precision planning. We raised the support and spent 18 months working with our partners to create a 1-meter land cover database for the Chesapeake Bay program. This unprecedented project took a lot of effort and massive computing power. Now we are working with Microsoft and using AI and deep learning to accelerate our work, both in the Chesapeake and across the country. Our collaboration is aimed at providing partners with the information they need to make informed decisions. The Microsoft Cloud is freeing up organizations to spend less time on technology and more time on conservation.
Working with a conservancy, I am now able to restore and protect my lands with the same level of precision that I grow my crops. This allows me to focus on what I need to do, provide food for people while sustaining the land and the bay.
I love this water. I love this work. It's a special place out here, and it's up to us to protect it.
Yeah, it's up to us to protect it, and it's really up to you to protect it, basically, right? So that's why, I mean, hope this gives you a lot of kind of creativity and impulse to really work on that. Going back to this word cloud, which we had initially, and then we had some kind of feedbacks in terms of the humanitarian crisis in which we are living, the natural catastrophes, and also the current pandemic, basically, right? So, and here the next chapter, AI for Humanitarian Action, we are doing really a lot in that area, which is, I mean, I would always say the hidden champions behind the scenes every day, which are not on the newspapers every day, but I mean they're working every day really hard to support them, to support those organizations and those people. This is really, I think, one of our responsibility we all need to take. And here we have also quite a lot of collaborations with NGOs where we, I mean, support all of them in various areas. And yeah, I think let me show you again some kind of real impressions. This is my last video, by the way, for today. So hope you bear with me and hope you like it as well.
Human rights situation often deteriorate very quickly, and the faster we can get the information and we can react to the situation, it can be a real game changer.
New technologies are advancing so rapidly, and technology companies can advise us on how best to use those technologies to protect and promote human rights.
Our objective is automatic damage mapping, because after the disaster, the government needs the damage map to carry out the effective rescue. If we can save the time to grasp the ground damage information, we are able to save a lot of life and facilities.
In a new partnership with the World Bank, United Nations, and tech industry partners, we'll be better able to predict when and where famine will occur.
Operation Child's vision really sinks in with what I feel is a fundamental human right.
What the volunteers do for the children may seem like a small thing, but they're able to change the lives of the families forever.
We're creating a chatbot-based experience for refugees coming out of the Syria conflict. The purpose is to have displaced youth find a way to discover and access learning materials you can complete the course content.
Beginning of the impact that we hope to have with the tools at our disposal.
Yeah, please help. I just want to say, and please be engaged in all these kind of initiatives. We have a lot of projects which we are supporting and which we are featuring across the world. And yeah, I think this is our greatest challenge we need to tackle. And basically, AI and technology can really help us to support those people better. And I think you saw it in the slides quickly. The needs for children, for example, the left lip, disease, cleft lip disease. It's very, you saw it in the video. Every 3 minutes, a child is born with a cleft lip or cleft plate, and my suffer really extreme hardship out of this. And I think with the operational smile, with the collaboration with this, we are really improving the surgical outcomes across the world. You may think how AI could help. It's really like the planning and accuracy of the surgery where AI and technology can really help. And last year we just provided to more than 21,000 patients some kind of support in the field of surgery and dental care. I think we need to increase the stuff. We need to increase the skills for the staff that they can really, use these kind of technology and for the better. You just summarized the AI for cultural heritage. There's also plenty of videos existing online for museums and a lot of nice places around the world where we are really trying to protect and cover. We just invested 10 millions of grants for this area. For organization, for people, for any cultural heritage, and you will support all these individuals through collaborations and partnerships in the future. And I think together we can really seek ways in which we can collaborate to help preserve all these kind of rich culture we have around the world. I think I mentioned this. One of the projects. It is the Metropolitan Museum in, I think it's in Europe, in Paris or New York. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, we just really digitized over 1.5 million works, where we also during the pandemic times were able to provide a virtual tour around the museum, basically, right? Which really a great benefit, because otherwise those places would be closed for ages, I think, if I'm thinking about the current pandemic. I think this is a great thing, and the link is free to explore. You can really go online and explore all these kind of nice cultural heritages here. AI for health, just to give you also a summary on that, we have a lot of areas where we can really impact people, and also, disease around the world. I'm not going into more detail. I just want to highlight all those different initiatives, just to also illustrate the power and the areas of AI, which can be really almost limitless, right? So here, for example, with Novartis Foundation, leprosy, right? So it's over 200,000 people are diagnosed by this. So we can really, through this early disease detection, like we're also doing in the cancer with iris for low vision people, especially in India, there's a very, high demand on that. We can really make a very precise recovery of those. And also with Cascadia Data Discovery, we are also, running a huge data foundation where we can also kind of match, anonymously data globally in order to really see some kind of similarities, in order to, detect, disease more earlier, more precisely, right? I think a lot more details on that angle. The Novartis example here, for example, which works quite well. Here, a nice picture of this iris where we can really detect with just a regular smartphone. I mean, the intelligence is in the smartphone, and this is, again, a great example where we can combine technology which is existing, which is obviously not connected to cloud or, I mean, supported by AI, just with an AI enabled smartphone, and suddenly you have a totally new use case. And in this case, we can really prevent blindness of millions of people. Yeah, the Cascadia Data Discovery Initiative I mentioned earlier for the cancer detection is a great breakthrough. I hope that in Europe we can also be there, where we can collect all the existing available information in order to really get more insights out of this. And yeah, with this, I think we can even reach and impact more people. Yeah, with this, I'm done. I can speak way more and longer, but I think my objective here was like not to show off or show, I mean, nice advertised videos here. No, it was really like to give you some impressions about the variety of areas where AI, ML, and technology can really impact people. And people for good, right? So, and not only people, we also talked about climate, about nature, about animals and species, about almost everything. And this is the variety of areas where we can really make an impact for good. And then, yeah, and with this, I wanna thank you for your attention.
Yes, thank you so much. And I think that really came through, that message of yours. So that's really
like
nice.
it was definitely very interesting to see not only the variety.
Very heartwarming as well.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely. Like, I almost cried at one point. I think it was very interesting to see not only the variety of places and topics where AI for good actually applies, but also for like see the practical examples to see, hey guys, that's actually happening today. That's
and very inspiring as well, I think, for everybody out there. Yeah.
So without further ado, let's go to the questions.
Do you have some time for a few questions, Ekrem? A few minutes?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Very
cool. mean, in 10 minutes is fast break, so we have in the middle of Ramadan, as you know. So, but yeah, I have another 10 minutes.
Perfect. Mubarak from my side.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
The first question is, which success metrics do you recommend for impact-oriented ventures?
Say it again. The first.
What success metrics do you recommend for impact-oriented ventures?
Oh, I mean, it's really hard to tell, but I think the success metrics might be really the number of people, for example, you can reach, right? If we, for example, take accessibility as an example, there's 1 billion people out there. I think this could be a nice success metric when I'm going into a venture. And this is the way I got the question, right? So if I think about an idea, about a technology, about an area I would like to impact, I mean, where's the need, right? So, I mean, either the people, like accessibility, 1 billion, like water consumption, where we say, I mean, in a couple of years, we are out of water, right? So I think this I would really take as a measure. And secondly, of course, to check whether something is existing on the market already, where I can leverage on it, right? Instead of reinventing the wheel, just putting in onto those solutions, or probably collaborate with them. And third, I mean, open source, really. I mean, it needs to be open. I mean, because we are living in a world of ecosystems, right? So, and it doesn't make sense if you are developing and producing and making something for a specific language, technology, region, or whatever. It should be really open and broad. So, because with this, it's sustainable, it's really adaptable, and also applicable for any other areas.
Great answer. From my opinion, I think the open source point is actually like very important. It's like, it's not just about you making the impact, but like enabling others also to have the impact. So thanks for the answer.
The next one is a rather deep question, but what is it that you think about general purpose AI, and what milestones do you think we have achieved already?
The general purpose of AI.
No, what do you think about general purpose AI? Like one that can actually do everything and solve many issues?
I mean, what I think about it, I mean, welcome. It's already there, right? So I think, I mean, AI is already infused in everything almost, right? It's sometimes visible, sometimes invisible. So I think, again, as I mentioned initially, I mean, I would really see it as an support for humans, as a kind of an automation where I think we human can do better and can do more. And all these kind of repetitive tasks we should really automate and give it to an AI or an ML model. really focus on the impactful things which I highlighted today. We need to think about the issues in the world, the challenges in the world in different areas, and then use general AI for general purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well said. Is there a specific department at Microsoft that deals specifically with AI for good projects, or is it a general thing you do all over the company?
Oh yeah, we do. Basically, we have Microsoft Philanthropy. Based out of Berlin, which is kind of, is an umbrella of all these kind of activities. AI for Good is one. We have a lot of initiatives for startups. We have initiatives for universities, for students, for women in tech, and all these kind of different areas. And then this is really a global program where AI for Good is just one out of many. We just launched, for instance, a learning program together with LinkedIn, where we give free access to LinkedIn learning resources for, I think, 35 million people around the world. So this also falls under the Microsoft Philanthropy. And this works, of course, very closely together with our technology departments, which is, out of Redmond from the engineering point of view. And we have also a couple of research and development centers across Europe.
Very nice.
Nice to hear that the big tech is also doing AI for good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The next question is very specific, so don't worry if you don't know anything about this, but I'll give it a go anyways. What is your impression on the AI Cloud Service Compliance Criteria Catalog that was published by the BSI, Bundesamt für Sicherheit in der Informationstechnik, at the beginning of this year? Do you think it has more relevancy for real application of AI in comparison to draft ethics guidelines for trustworthy AI by the European Commission's high-level expert group on artificial intelligence?
Okay, I'm gonna write an essay out of this. This looks like really an exam questions, right?
It's very specific, really, so don't worry.
Like a research paper, like I have to publish.
I can't be that specific in my answer. I just, unfortunately, be very high level. I can just say, again, Microsoft runs on trust, and then we are the only cloud provider who's proactively applying all in governmental regulatories and security and data privacy regulations straight away. And basically, we brought up this ethics in AI, right, where a lot of companies and technologies are jumping onto it. So which means in everything what we do it based on trust. And I'm not sure about those specifics you referred to, but basically, in Germany, in Europe, the Microsoft Cloud is being used for governments, for public institutions, for companies. So we are applying to all these kind of regulations, and we are going even beyond and bringing out proactively privacy and security rules. And I think this is also very appreciated by many of our customers.
Thank you for the answer. Even though it was very detailed.
Yeah.
The last question we have for today is, do you think the use of new technologies endangers digital privacy and security? And if so, do the benefits outweigh the disadvantages?
Yeah, especially for Germany, that's true. So, sometimes, and I think the good thing is we had this pandemic, right, where suddenly data privacy was not that valuable anymore, right, or that important, because lives were under threat, right, and we had to be really agile and fast, right. So that's why, always a balance, right. Wherever we can, we should really take care about data privacy. Not we should always, but there might be some situations where we need to show a little bit flexibility if the threat is even bigger than the privacy, right? But we do believe that data privacy and privacy itself, it's a human right. It needs to be protected. It needs to be covered, and in everything what we do. Our CEO Satya Nadella mentioned this last time. Data privacy is a human right, so we should take care of this. But of course, in some cases, like this current pandemic, it might be a time where we need to show a little bit flexibility and apply it maybe later as a second step before the first step. But in general, we should really apply on this sequence.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Ekrem, thanks for the talk. Thanks for the inspiring insights. Thanks for the heartwarming videos.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, pleasure and privilege to have you there.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice evening.
Bye,
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
For everybody also there, tomorrow we have the talk Ethics in AI.
And
we have our pub quiz.
Exactly, and
which will be very exciting.
It's not a meme challenge. Doesn't mean it's not fun, guys. There's still a lot up to grab. The questions are not that easy as you think, and it's also a really good chance to kind of bring your team together. So think of it as a team building where if you win, you're a good team. You get a lot of money.
And if not, you still might be.
You're still going to learn something. And you're still going to make a good team building event. So
yeah, especially right before the weekend, it's good to get to know your teammates. So make sure you already message them. Make sure they will show up tomorrow at 8 p.m. in Gather Town. And yeah, you can do some team building. And the winning team, only the people that are actually there and participating will win the 30 euros. So make sure you get everybody there and make sure you win as well.
That sounds fair. Anyways.
And one last point. Now we have the preview page in Artemis where you find the criteria for the weekend, the winning criteria that you'll be judged by. So make sure to check that out as well. But there'll be more info tomorrow that you'll find in Slack. So don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win if you don't know what you're competing for. So anyways, that was the capstone on tonight.
And we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the next talk.
Exactly. Stay excited, stay psyched, and we'll see you soon.
Stay inspired and see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.